God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts bro, lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. So I'm going mainstream. That the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts bro, lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Yeah. Want me on your song? Throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. No. Do my own thing and I maintain. Woo. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. So I'm going mainstream. That the brothers on the rise now. Woo! Endless celebrations all in my house. Yeah. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. Yeah. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Yeah. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business so humongous, you would think that happens in there. Oh man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo! Everybody wanna do the same thing. Yup. That's why we ain't on the same page. No. Do my own thing and I maintain. Woo. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. Mainstream. going mainstream.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another day of the Global Girl Championship semi-finals Group B tonight. This time around, presented to you by Liquid 5 eSports once again. This is your GALATASAREY, and once again we are finally back live with the second day action of the semi-final group, which will be semi-final Group B. And today there's going to be 18 different more teams than the one yesterday that are going to play again tonight in 4 matches and trying to get like the top-notch positions for themselves. But if we're talking about all of those teams, we will also like to just verbally say out the names of the teams who are going to play tonight out, which will be Next Battle Girls, UTG Girls, NGUP Goddess Team Entertainment, ASTRELLA Ace, HYVE INTL ADIFE, V Gaming Ladies, 1001 Girls, Galaxy Star eSports, Master Girls, the Vanguards, Initiate eSports, Ganjam Party, there's a HAJI, ADALINE, 7 Wonders, Aesthetic, Retaliations, Born Viviant, and IHC eSports Girls lineup. So all these team names are actually going to be playing tonight out for the major prize pool of a total of $500 that is actually going to happen. But before any further ado, with the first match of being a wrangle has actually started, the plane has taken its flight. Let's go straight towards into the match, into the action of the Wrangle 1, whereas we can see the plane line is going to actually start from the Yasnaya Polyana area towards the hospital side. So somewhere in that area, the northern region, the northern side areas are going to be into a complete favor this time around, whereas the Yasnaya, Rozok, school side, Pachinki, the Jojo Pool, the northern city, and all the Severny region areas are actually going to be accessible for the teams. Aside from that, the southern area regions, whereas Senvoska military base, the Novo, the Premox, the Milta Power, those are the areas that are not going to be accessible for the teams. And if they want to go over towards that position, teams actually need some kind of transportation for themselves, in towards themselves. But there we go, the circle has also been made in towards the northern side region as well, and at the very start of the plane line as well. Kameshki is still going to be inside of that circle, the Stalber is going to be inside of that circle, Severny is going to be inside. Shooting range, unfortunately, is no longer inside of that circle. But aside from that, the Yasnaya, the Rozok, the almost like a little bit of Pachinki, there's going to be Mansion, there's going to be Shelter, Milta City, farm areas, those areas going to be inside of that circle whatsoever not. For the first one, in fact, in the very least, we will see how the circle will take its shift towards the next one, and after that as well, how the teams are actually going to hold off in towards their positions, because for now, there's going to be only one and only place that has an early stages engagement chances for them, and that is going to be inside of the Pachinki area. The Pachinki, which is already inside of that circle, is going to be surrounded by not 1, not 2, but 3 teams that are actually going to fight against each other into the early stages, into the early fight of each other. VG, GS, and at that same time Team HAJI. These 3 teams are going to be the one that are super close by to each other, just 1 to 2 compartments or 1 to 2 house apartments different for themselves, a cover for themselves at that region. And after that, it's going to be either a face-to-face fight or it's going to be a mid to long range fight, whereas each and every single one of the player, each and every single one of the team is kind of like in a pinch spot here or there whatsoever. But there we go, finally a grenade from HAJI Alice came towards Nono, in towards which regard Nono finally has been taken down. She has to receive a revival factor in towards this area. But Team GS from the backside, they also have a chance of actually coming into the close range, into the range of the fight as well. But there we go, NGUP, these girls are going to be fighting in the quarry region, into the quarry areas, whereas finally 1 total elimination has been seen. Reva, she's going to be right below the house of the players of the Team VG as well, in which case scenario, just look at that, Nono once again has been taken out. Nono once again has been knocked out at that position. Reina is going to try her level best to find out the position as well, to find out the opening that she can use to actually rush in towards the player as well. But there we go, HAJI Alice, she's coming inside of that house, and as soon as she entered the house, she was taken down as well. She was knocked out in towards this region. Somewhere in that area there is like revival factors that are constantly being popped off. But there we go, VG no, VG nay. Finally 2 players of the team VG has been eliminated. Team HAJI getting 0 kills whatsoever for themselves at this position at this point. And even on top of that, 1 kill after that first kill. Faika is that person that is right now taken down. Faika is that person that is right now knocked out. 2 kills towards GS Laradif in this position in this regard. But after that, all 4 of the players are from the team GS is actually going to be alive. They're coming close by to the team HAJI in this scenario. RDF trying a level best with that AKM to eliminate someone up, but Rina and Faika, both players are knocked out at that position. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the call, but there we go. Finally, the grenades are actually making their way in regard towards this position, and with that aggression from the team GS, it's going to be a whole elimination on towards the team. 1 gone towards the RDF, 2 kills gone towards the Sima Diff, and 1 kill towards the GS Diff whatsoever. A total of 6 kills towards these girls in towards this regard and towards this region for themselves in this position. But team VG Ella, in the very end moment of this fight, she managed to get out of here. She managed to leave out this position and get into a safer side, in which case scenario now Ella has moved out of this position, moved out of this scenario. A total of 17 teams joined in this match, in which case now is going to be the number which will be turned into 16. But there we go, Circle is also going to be taking its shift. Circle is also trying its level best to come down towards the place, whereas now is that time for all of the players from outside of the circle to make a shift towards inside, but they don't know like who and which like area is going to be taken down by the team first of all, which area is going to be already been hold off by the team, so they have to be really careful on what they're going to do. Team missed, 3 players are going to be in the prison, and 1 player, Raven, is going to be actually outside of the circle right now, almost outskirts of Pochinki, that she's holding out the area. But Raven being kind of like super far away from her team, it's going to be a really hectic situation for her as well. And as Minyasa, Avisha, Fury, those 3 girls are going to be inside. Those 3 girls are going to be already in a good spot for themselves. But aside from that, Raven, how is she actually going to be able to get inside of that circle area for herself or not? It's going to be a major questioning thing, a major concerning thing, not just for herself, but for her whole team as well. Because losing even 1 player is not like good for you and your team in towards the long range fights and towards the long range game. So having all the 4 players together may just lead to your survival even more. But as we're seeing Raven moving out from that area, she's going to be face off with the team 7-1 in this regard. She can be face off with this team in this regard, in this position, whereas there are chances that this girl, this buggy, can get a lot of shots in towards this area. And as the buggy is actually moving from the backside, Ravenella is being seen at the Raven side as well. Is being seen to spot the Raven side, spot the Raven's position, and after that a small amount of shots were like given out towards the skulls as well from the skull side towards the buggy, towards the car. But to no luck, but to no avail, no one is actually gonna get hurt, and no one is actually gonna like face off any kind of danger towards themselves. 59 total players, 16 total teams that are still gonna be alive inside of that circle, inside of this first match and towards this first area for the team. Then how they're gonna actually move is going to determine where are they gonna go, because if you are gonna hold off that edges position, then that means that the next circle is not gonna be in your favor, is not gonna be inside of your favor at that time. But if you do manage to like get off the second circle location for yourself, there are chances that you might be able to like make out a difference in this case scenario. But once again, the first circle is actually closing on. Where is it gonna head out is a major concerning thing, is a major question for each and every single one of the team, because in this region it can either go up towards the northern region, whereas Stolba, Severny, the Kameshki side, those are the places that are going to be inside of that circle, and no one is there on top of that. In today's matches, in the first match, no one has actually gone towards the Stolba, towards the Severny region to hold out that area, but finally, the circle has taken a shift. It's going to be an eastern hard shift, whereas Lipovka is going to be inside of that circle. Yasnaya is going to be inside Prison Mansion. The shelter is going to be inside of that circle as well, and after that, with this area, we can see where the teams are actually gonna go now for this area, because there are still 16 teams, there are still 59 players that needs to get inside, that needs to make sure that their position is going to be the top notch one, that their position may just be that position that they need to get on towards the other teams as well on top of that. But for now, the teams that are right now outside of the circle, they're going to be making their way inside, and they're going to try to get in towards those position where they have to be into a safer side, where they have to take the fights as well. But team HYVE, these girls are going to be taking the fights as well. Once again, another fight has broken down, another fight has started to take place in towards the shooting range, kind of like shooting range area. And as we're seeing, this area is being taken down by 2 to 3 teams in this regard, in this region, and in this region, whereas where the teams will go is going to determine heavily on them as well. But once again, outside of the play zone, there's going to be different teams that are dying, and at that same time, Arte, Isabel, these girls are here as well, with Arte having the 3 girls standing in towards their match and towards their side. The 59 players total has taken a shift down to 57, whereas 2 players somewhere in this area was eliminated either by the play zone, either by someone else as well. But Team GS and Team GNJ, these girls, these 2 teams are actually right now outside the circle, whereas Moon is knocked out. She needs that rev. Pixie's gonna be taking out that buggy and moving out of that area and getting inside of that circle, but in towards the quarry region, Moon is gonna be the only person that is right now, I think, AFK just disconnected out from the game, and with that, she's no longer gonna be into the game. But Harley, she's trying her level best to get inside of that circle as well, because not only she's nearby the quarry region, she's taken the whole area of the road to get inside of that circle, whereas Team GS, they might be inside of that area as well. She might just face out with them in towards this regard, as she's trying to get inside of that circle. And on top of that, the triple seater bike is a really hectic one to actually play with. It's a really hectic one to actually stabilize in towards that area, because you can just constantly go down out of the bike, and there's a chance that you might get some damage as well. And on top of that, Harley has been seen doing a prime example on that. But Team Ara, these girls are also going to be taken out of the fight. 1 player has been eliminated from these girls' side, but look at that. After that, all the 4 players that are still going to be alive is not just in the same place, but at the same time, they're holding out the same location whatsoever as well. T1H, these girls are going to be fighting against the Team HYVE. Trying to fire up from the Aries side is going to be knocking out Gia, who has been taken down. She's going to be totally eliminated on towards this area. From the backside, we can see 07 being knocked out as well. Kuro is down, and leaving only the NS Suit and Empress as the final hope for the team. NS Suit as one of the final hopes of the team, but there we go. The final spray from towards this girl is going to be enough to knock down one of the player, eliminate one of the player of the team one as well. In which case scenario, once again, she's given out that trap, but no, it's going to be a fifth 1v1 fight. In which case scenario, she has taken out the fight and won it. Oh my god, not just the knock on Haru, but also the eliminations right on towards her side. NSOT, she's going to be reviving her teammate up, but as Aries is going to be throwing some Molotovs in towards this area, it's not going to do that much damage. It's not going to do that much casualties onto the players. HYVE, these girls are going to be alive with 3 girls right now, and there we have it. Kuro with that amazing, and I say amazing, UMP 45 fire is going to take him down. Aries as well, the last player of the team T1 in towards this regard, and with that fire, as soon as she was eliminated, now Team HYVE has 6 kills whatsoever for their side. A total of 15 teams are still going to be alive inside of that circle, outside of that region as well, trying to make their way inside. And as they're making their way inside, there's going to be a lot of hectic bloodshed in towards this area. Once again, Team NB versus IHC is going to take out the fight. It's going to be initializing the fight this time around, in which case scenario in the IHC region in towards the dead center outskirts of, I'd say, shelter area. The team that actually going to be taking out the fights. Team IHC having 2 kills or whatsoever for themselves right now. But at that same time, Winter was eliminated. Ella is also taking the fight, as Ella is also the final player for the whole team. She's a solo player. She's also taking out the fights with the team G and J, and she has completed that fight with a 1v1 and has won that 1v1. In fact, got the first whatsoever blood for her own team in towards this regard. 46 total players are going to be alive. Ella has to make sure she gets inside of that circle as well, because the circle has already taken a shift as well once again towards the mentioned region, towards the Yasnaya Polyana's edges region. 7-1 is also going to be taking the fights, in which case scenario 7-1 is that team that is actually facing out the casualties in this girl in this position. Baby girl is going to be taking the fights to the 1v1 M416. It's going to be a 4 versus 1 scenario, in which case scenario that Baby girl finally decided to take one player down, but at that same time from a long range, Ladref is going to be that person that is going to take her down. Ara Lidif is going to be the one that is going to put the whole end towards the 7-1 in this regard, getting all of the players alive back on towards their feet. A total of 9 kills on towards the team GSX in this regard, in this position. And after that, the confidence is going to be just boosted up even more, because not only these girls have 9 kills for themselves, but at that same time, there's still going to be 12 teams that are still going to be alive. NGUP is going to be fighting with ASTRELLA's. ASTRELLA also has been eliminated, and right with that, as soon as ASTRELLA has been eliminated, the 13 number has been changed towards a 12 number. Team Artes, these girls are going to be alive with 2 girls standing, 2 players remaining in towards their team number, Choco and Ren in towards this regard. But these 2 girls have to be really careful on what they're going to do, how they're going to actually make sure in towards the next region where they are going to go. Tem is going to be with the 0 kills. Moving on to all of the teams, NGUP is going to be one of the teams that just eliminated Artes. Estrella is right in this regard, and after that they're having 5 kills in towards the names, in towards their like a backpack with 2, having in Maria's backpack 1 Sophie, 1 Maya, and 1 Kate's backpack whatsoever. So a total of 5 kills for the whole team. Somewhere in that area, not only they managed to like eliminate a whole team, but at that same time a solo player somewhere. So a total of 5 kills are justified for these girls. They're going to be outskirts of that mansion, the outskirts of shelter region, whereas there's going to be some kind of compounds holding them right now. But the next circle, where the next circle is going to shift, is going to determine their position like really aggressively, because from what I see, mention area, the shelter area, they're no longer going to be inside of that circle. If the circle decide to go towards the hard northern side shift, it's going to be a really Ara, these girls are also trying their level best to get inside of that circle as well, to get in towards the region where the airdrop gonna be. But team SC and NGUP, these are gonna be the girls that are gonna be taking a look at them as well. Shua was taken down by Fem Sophie was that person that knocked her down. Team GS is also coming from the backside, and as they are coming from the backside, there's going to be some kind of bloodshed. There's going to be some kind of a hectic situation, because each and every single one of the team that is right now inside of that circle is already having their position secured. Shua is also coming into the backside, and as Shua is going to be coming in the backside, Rachel is actually going to be taking a look at the players, whereas right now in this regard, now it's all up to Rachel to give out a beautiful cover to not just her team, but at that same time her players as well, the rest of the areas as well, whereas a singular wrong move can lead up to the team's demise. It is male, because once the revival is going to be started, Mayu could not leave out that position. Mayu has to stick toward that, and in that area, if she gets like some kind of shots on towards her side, she has to be forcefully leaving out that area. And in top of that, that means that revival is not going to be done. The player is going to die, just bleed out towards her own death in that regard. But 38 players that are still going to be alive, with 12 teams still going to be inside of that match, inside of that somewhat blue circle, and inside of that white circle as well, the safe zone as well. We have to see how the teams are actually going to make a difference here, because if the teams can actually make a difference here, is going to be a lot of like changes. If a singular team can hold out their position inside of that circle, inside of that match, the whole like a shift scenario can be done. The whole like changes can be done towards the matches, because not only these girls have the potential to hold out that area, hold out that position, they also have the potential to get more kills for themselves whatsoever in that regard, in that area. Once again, inside of that circle, Tem Jao Aliz is going to be fighting. Temi Zia is going to be fighting with the team BV as well. In which case scenario, moving on to the team NGUP, they're going to be fighting with the team IHC in this regard, in this position. Once again, it's a 4 versus 4 scenario, with IHC having the 3 players still standing and team NGUP having their 4 girls still standing. Katie was kind of like knocked on, but right now she's giving out that rev as well. But there we go with that Inspire Maria, who has been taken down. It's going to be a hectic situation for the team NGUP in this regard. Finally, they have a chance of aggressing on towards the team. Arte is also facing out some casualties against the team GS in this regard. And as the team GS is also like slowly and steadily making their way forward, we have to see which one of that team is actually going to survive in this fight. Katie is going to be into the backside outside of that house. Kate, how are you going to hold out that area? Because not only you're kind of like putting yourself out in the open area, out in the like open scenarios, you're also making sure that if you get the shots, there are no saving you whatsoever with the circle. The circle is going to be deciding a lot of shifts in towards this area. Team Tem is also fighting. Team TGS is going to be alive in the long range distance, in the long range fight. The fights of the team TEM and the team GS is actually happening. From a third angle, we can see HYVE may just make their moves inside of that area, inside of that region towards the teams firing on them, getting some damage on towards them as well, connecting some like bullets, eliminating them, maybe getting some kills as they were making their way out in towards that area. But Victoria this time around from the team IHC has been taken down. Team NGUP now has a chance of over aggressing in towards this region, because not only team IHC is down to their last 2 players, Anna and Mikasa. Anna is also given out that ref, so somewhere in that area Mikasa is kind of like stranded. Mikasa is like the solo player holding out the whole area for her team, giving out all of the cover towards from herself in this regard. And if she's not able to give out that cover, it's going to be all over for the rest of the teams as well, because team IHC now, as they're back towards their 3-player squad, as they're back towards their trio in this region, how they're gonna hold off is gonna be like determined majorly in this regard, because not only one of the each player from the team IHC is acting on their own, is like playing as the 4th player substitute by themselves. A single elimination is gonna be enough for the whole team's dismay, for the whole team's like to go in shambles in that area. But team G and J, these girls are gonna be fighting with the team BV as well. Pixie is going to be the last hope for the team, and as we see Pixie finally getting a single kill for the team, finally getting a single kill for her team as well. Now is that time. Her location is going to be revealed, but team Ara, they're going to be fighting with the team GS into the kill feed, as team GS is going to be fighting with the JIA as well. All of the teams are going to be engaging with one another. Team Ara has finally eliminated the team GS in this regard, but from the backside, GAI is going to be coming from the back region as well. From which side GAI has the upper hand, has the higher flow for themselves, has a higher region for themselves. Saturn is going to be coming in towards this area as well. But there we go, the smokes have been thrown, the smokes have been like deployed over towards the players and hopes to calling them as well. Arashuba is going to be fighting with Blossom. Blossom has been eliminated by a car explosion, and as Blossom is going to be eliminated, there goes the grenade, there goes the Molotov throwables. All of the scenarios are on towards the team Ara, which is definitely going to hit out the player. BV Nasty is going to be fighting with NGUP Katie. Shu has been taken down by the Temfas. BV Nasty is going to be fighting with Kate. Kate has been totally annihilated. Maria is down. NGUP Maria has also been eliminated by the team MST as well. So different teams, different region, different scenarios inside of that. More like from a satellite view, we can see all of the teams are actually going haywire against each other. In this case scenario, it's going to be a heavy bloodshed. 20 teams, 8 teams are actually facing off each other, one another in this 5th circle of us position. position, but once again the circle shift is going to be done. 8 teams are still going to be alive somewhere in that area. Each and every single one of the team that is inside of that circle is actually facing some kind of casualties on top of each other. Another team GAI, they are also coming close by in which scenarios. Look at that, Saturn from the backside is coming close by. Nilki tried a level best to get in towards that region to get some eliminations on towards the player, but she was not able to get that because she was the person that was taken down and eliminated at that point. Le Petit, she's also coming from the backside. Team IC has a definite chance of actually shooting out on these girls as well. So not only Le Petit has to be really careful on what she's going to do, how she's going to give out that rep towards the players. This is also a place whereas her location, her survival is gonna be determined. But there we go. Finally, she has revived up the player. IHC is gonna be throwing out the grenade as well. Empress is gonna be taking down Saturn once again. Liberty, she's gonna be going for the fire against the Mikasa. In which case scenario, Mikasa finally has been taken down. Mikasa, as soon as she was taken down, there's gonna be a different team that is gonna be entering this area. But as soon as Liberty is gonna go for that revival factor, reloading factor, in fact, she's gonna be taken down by HYVE's team as well. Taken down, fully eliminated, and with that team, IHC is going to be that team that is right now going to be close by to the team HYVE. 8 total kills towards these girls. A total of 4 teams are going to be surviving. BB is going to be surviving with 2 girls standing. Team IHC is going to be surviving with their solo player standing as Victoria is going to be the only hope for the team. Team Mist, on the other hand, they're going to be all 4 players alive. IHC has been spotted, and with that Fury's AMR, let's see the sniper, the new sniper, can actually make a difference in this regard or not, because the circle has also taken a shift. The circle has also started, but there we go. Team BV, they're not going to be standing anymore inside of that game because HYVE is going to be taking a look at them as well, eliminating them, getting them out of this game as well, making the fight a 3 versus 4 versus 1 scenario. Victoria, I'm just amazed on how this girl is actually surviving, how this girl has managed to get her team not just on towards the top 3 region, but now as she's inside of that buggy, just like in the get in position, now she's going to be using that, utilizing that towards its fullest position in hopes to find someone in this regard, in this position. And finally, with that grenade being cooked up, it's going to be a do or die situation. The grenade has taken its shift, but once again the grenade has come towards her as well side. Both of the grenades are taking some kind of like a trade-off damage on towards each other, but finally Victoria finally putting up another smoke wall on towards her buggy, on towards herself. Now she has the time to heal herself from the backside. She can also take a look at the other teams as well, other players as well, in towards this region, in towards this regard. But there comes the grenade, there comes the splash damage on Victoria once again. Well, there we have it, half damage on Victoria, half HP is on Victoria's side. She's gonna throw some more smokes in towards this region, in towards this area, in hopes to get a good position, good angle on against the team position MST, whereas the team HYVE, they have the upper position, they have the upper region for themselves, and that upper region is going to be putting themselves in the better regards aside from the team Mist, and at the same time team IHC as well, because team IHC is just down towards their last player. A single wrong move can lead up to their demise. Over towards the other side, team Mist has the better chance of getting that winner with a chicken dinner for themselves in this regard, in this position, because not only they can actually exert over towards the team HYVE, they also have a chance of actually overcoming them because of their more player power, more player advantage in this regard. Finally, they will that 6x star L. She's not going to be getting any kind of elimination on towards the play. Miss Fury is going to be throwing some Molotovs, in which case scenario I'd see is going to be no more. The top 2 teams are actually going to be fighting against each other, in which case scenario there comes a grenade nearby the Raven side. Raven just faced down a heavy casualties on towards that, a lot of damage, a big splash damage on herself. Avisha is getting out that rev, but Minyasa finally getting a player down. Team HYVE is right now down to their last 2 players, in which case Ikuro and Empress is going to be the only 2 players that are actually going to be surviving. Finally, Empress has taken out 1 player, but at the same time he was taken down as well. With the 3rd player of the team HYVE being eliminated, we have a winner chicken dinner for the team MST in this regard. Having more manpower, having more player power, player advantage has taken their a toll onto the other team as well, getting that winner chicken dinner for themselves. Not only that, but at the same time, if we are talking about their kills, it's going to be 8 total kills, a chicken dinner for the team MST in this regard. But if we're talking about the second team, team HYVE's kills, we can see they have a total of 10 kills for themselves in towards the same region, in towards the same location for themselves. But on the third spot, we have Team IC with only three kills for them whatsoever. But with that top 3 position, we also needs to know who is going to be that MVP of that match, because if you're talking about the MVP, someone who has a more kills whatsoever, even if she was eliminated at the very start of the match, is going to be the one that is going to receive that MVP title. So without any further ado, we go on to the MVP title, which is HYVE Empress with 6 kills and 841 damage towards this kill. So somewhere in that area, she was the only person that managed to get some 6 kills and 841 damage, the highest kill towards the kills. And after that, the MVP has also been seen. The first match has taken its end as well. And with that, we are going to tell you that please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and share the stream as much as possible, because there are still 3 more matches left. And if you want to see more entertainment, stay here, stay tuned, because we will be going on a short break with the second match being live as well somewhere in that time. So we will see you as soon as the match starts, and once again we will go in towards the match regards as well. So until then, be right back.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek, look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began, just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until we get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light.
All right, guys. Finally, we are back after some time after some break with the second match, which will be held on the Miramar. And as the Miramar is going to be the second map, which the teams will be taking a flight on. Now is that time to once again explain who I am and why we are actually here, because this is the Global Girl Championship. The semi-final brackets have started. The Group B is going to be held on today, and this is your cast rhetorics alongside of the thing as well, whereas I will be doing the 4 matches of today's as well once again. So jumping straight into the match of the Miramar, we can see the plane flight finally being made from Puerto Paraíso, nearby that area, outskirts of the Los Leones, towards the upper region, the north hard shift of the ruins area, whereas kind of like one corner to second corner place is already covered by the plane line. The circle, on the other hand, in fact, is going to take its shift towards the Valle del Mar, kind of in the middle of the a plain line region, whereas western side shift can be said, but to be taken by the plain line as well, by the circle as well. But at the same time, it's a Miramar match. Nobody knows how it's going to be played, because each and every single one of the team will try to go for a safer approach, for a safer side, because no one wants to die into it, the Miramar. And if we're talking about the Miramar, it's kind of like to be said as the golden map whatsoever, whereas the bottom frag teams can actually come into the top frag as well, and at the same time there are chances that the top frag teams can also get eliminated and come towards the bottom frag as well, because in the early stages we can see some kind of fights being started up by the team Arte as well, in which case scenario team Arte is going to be the one that is going to face some kind of casualties on towards them. GS is also taking the fights, and as GS is also making sure that they are getting some knockouts onto the players as well, we will move towards them as well and find out that team IHC is going to be super close by to them. Winter is going to be the person that is going to be eliminated. Mikasa is going to be right outside of that house, waiting out with an Uzi in hand. No vest, no helmet whatsoever, so there's going to be just 2 to 3 shots on towards the skull side as well, which is going to be enough to eliminate her. But finally she has found out that there's going to be a UMP in her hand. There's going to be a UMP, and on top of that there's going to be an AKM towards the skull's hand as well. T1 Aries has been knocked out just by jumping out of her own car, or maybe some cliff side. So getting knocked out by yourself, by your own mistake, is a rather bad position to be put on at. But TEM, they're going to be fighting with the team Arte. Arte is having the upper hand this time around, as they finally managed to get one player down. Team Ara is going to be taking the fights with the team T1 in this regard. T1 NYX07 has also been taken down. Team Ara still on the other side, still on the upper edge of that fight, or on the upper edge of this whole scenario, leaving only Sophia as the final hope for the team. And as Sophia is the final hope for the team Team Ara, Mayu got 2 kills, Rachel got 1 kill so far, and as Sophia is already over here holding out that position, it's going to be all over for this girl as well, because looking at Mayu's location, Mayu has a definite chance of actually taking a look at the player as well, taking a look at the Sophia side as well, where Sophia is going to move, where Sophia is going to go. But there we go, the grenades are going to be done onto the player in this scenario. The player is not going to be able to witness out of that position, but she just baited her right inside of that grenades and knocking her out, eliminating her at that same time. Shuba, who was down, just got that trade-off eliminations on Sophia as well, making sure that the first team gets eliminated. Team Arte is going to be fighting with the team Tem as well, and as Team Arte is making the upper hand for themselves in this regard, they finally managed to get a 3 total kills so far whatsoever. Mafias, Tem Mafias This girl is going to be here with us 4 first aid kits. Now it's going to be 340 bullets inside of her M249, and right now she's going to be reloading that gun after getting some kind of more loot towards this position. So it's a 2 versus 1 scenario so far, whereas Team Artist got so far 3 kills. Team Tem, on the other hand, only managed to get like a 2 kill whatsoever. So with that last player elimination, it's going to be all over for the team. It's going to be all over for the players in this regard, in this position. So not only they have to be really careful on what they're gonna do, how they're gonna actually like make a difference in this scenario, in this position. It's all up to each and every single one of the team. If the team at Tem wants to like move out of this position, Team Artists want to like come behind them, like chase them down, eliminate them at that point or not, because for now, if we are looking at the satellite view, from the satellite view, from like we can see the map, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed from what we can see, from what I can see, because in the Lakub area there's going to be 2 teams in outskirts of Monte Nuevo. There's going to be a lot of hectic teams that will take out the fight against each other, because if they want to hold out that area, it's going to be a definite bloodshed, a bloodbath location for themselves in this regard. With 7-1, she's going to be here right in front of the Team Haji as well, in which case scenario Honey is going to be, I think, the final player for the team, as the Honey is the solo hope for the team in this regard, in this position. In fact, the rest of the Team Haji is nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be close by the player. So it's all up to Honey in this regard. But from the backside, we can see Rena also making her way close by towards the team with the Thompson and SLR in hand. So there is going to be definitely some kind of guns blazing towards this girl as well. But there we go, Alice, as soon as she was knocked out, Rena was that person that got someone down as well. But Maya is the one person that is going to take down the players as well. 7-1, Ravenna is going to take down 2 players, as Rena is going to be taken down. Alice is giving out that rev. Honey is going to be that one person that is giving out that rev towards the player. It's going to be a hectic situation, because not only it's a 3 versus 2 situation in this regard, Alice has to make sure that she gets at least 1 or 2 knockouts whatsoever towards this position. If they want to survive, there should be some kind of like knockouts onto the players. If they are not able to get them knockouts, it's not going to be easily possible. It's not going to be possible for the players to actually make a difference, because Haji Alice finally got one Vixen down. As the Vixen is right now taken down, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed on the other side as well. And he's one of the final hope for the team in this regard, in this fight against the 7-1, whereas the Team 7-1, one player once again is going out for that rev section, revival factor. But on the other hand, Honey is just trying her level best to find out some kind of position that she can actually use to eliminate the other team, eliminate the other players. But there we go, there comes the grenade, there comes the grenade factor throwables on towards the Haji Honey side as well, because not only Faika is kind of like far away from the team, 7-1 has kind of like revived all of their players. As soon as the player was taken down, they left no chance. They like wasted no time whatsoever to like revive the player back up. Now Honey is gonna be down. Faika is gonna be the only person standing for the team, and as Faika is coming slowly and steadily towards this whole place, towards this whole this is going to be a 1v1 fight against the team 7-1. It's not actually a 1v1 fight, it's actually going to be a 4 versus 1 fight. So Faika not only has to be very careful on what she's going to do, how she's going to actually make a difference, but it's not going to be possible, because from the backside we can see Isha coming in towards that region, eliminating her, getting that kill for her team, and a total of 4 kills are going to be gone for the 7-1 in that regard, in that position. The first circle has also taken a shift towards the northern side region as well, whereas this circle shift means that somewhere in that area there's definitely going to be teams that will be happy, because if we even right now take a look, there's still going to be more than 50% of the teams that are still outside, that are still actually inside of that circle, not outside of that circle, and the rest teams rest 10 to 5 to 10% that are actually outside. Now is that time for them to make a move. Now is that time for them to like do a certain rotation for their like own good, because if they're not able to do that, it's not going to be like majorly possible to hold out that area to save themselves up from this regard. But Kate, she's going to be here as the final hope for her team, as well as Kate is the final hope for her own team. Astrella into the kill feed, has been seen, and they're fighting with the team HK, and HK is kind of like facing some kind of casualties.
Oke,
HK,
kita
one
kembali
player
melihat
that was eliminated, and moving on to the rest of the players, we can somewhat see that yes, there might be some more casualties towards
mana
their
nih yang
players,
mendukung
towards
tim-tim
their
Indonesia,
whole team,
tim-tim
because if we're talking about the team
RE.
NB, that is HK, Remo that was eliminated is from team NB in this regard, Asma, Illusion, and Yasmina. These three girls are going to be the only players that are surviving. Not only that, each and every single one of the player has a different car for now, but finally Asma and Yasmina finally got into the same car as team NB. Illusion is super close by to the team GS, I believe. So GS, yes, three players from GS is going to be right over there. Madif is going to be knocking out one of the players. Asma is going to be super low on that HP, but no, she's going to survive. She's going to move out of that location. Moving on to the other player, that is going to be ADIFE. She's going to be taking down some kind of like damage on towards the player as well, and also giving out that damage with that MP4 and finally getting that player down. And with that knockout, it's going to be a complete annihilation on towards the team side as well. With the 14 teams that were surviving, we have finally moved down towards the 13 number. There are some sort of solo players still surviving towards the match, so somewhere in that area the solos number will be like a lot in towards the very end of that match and towards the very end of that circle. But for now, it's going to be 13 teams of 41 players that are surviving, that are like somewhat inside of that circle, and only teams that are not inside of that circle is going to be Team ARA and Team GAI in this regard, as they're also moving their way inside of that circle. Each and every single one of the team will be gone inside, but once again in towards the close range quarter fights, in towards the region where there can be a close range quarter fight, one of the team that is representing it is going to be IHC, and right on the backside of that team IHC, there's going to be the team that is straight up a solo player. KT is that person that is a solo player right over there in that regard, and with that, now is that time for the players to actually make a difference, to actually make sure that not only their position is not compromised, they also manage to get a lot of kills on towards the players, lot of kills on towards the other teams. But finally into the kill feed, we can see some kind of a fight have already been started outside of the circle. Team Arte, if we're talking about these girls, Queen is that person that is going to take out one of the players from the team GAI. Le Petit was the person that was not only knocked out but eliminated at that same time, finished off at that same time. Team Artes, these three girls, two girls in fact from the team Artes are actually going to be having 5 total kills, in which case scenario Queen is going to have 2 kills, and the other player, that is Forgar, is going to have 2 kills as well. So somewhere a total of complete 4 kills towards these 2 girls, and 1 kill going towards the player that has been eliminated from the team Arte side. A total of 5 kills can be seen. They're going to be inside of that circle. They're going to be holding out their positions inside of that circle as well. But for now is that time for each and every single one of the player to make a difference here. Not only because each and every single player are going to be stranded outside. There's a chance if the circle did not go towards the western side region, Montenegro side. But at that same time, the only teams that will stay inside of that circle is going to have so much advantage towards themselves, towards their region, that they might just be able to win out that winner chicken dinner for themselves, unless the teams comes in a group, they comes in a heap, 2-3 different teams come straight out in towards that area, in which case scenario even not a single team will be able to face out that eliminations on towards themselves. But for now, the 13 teams, they're going for a safer approach. But as the circle is going to be closing on, as the circle is going to be taking its another shift, where is it going to head out? Because it has gone towards once again Montenegro, whereas the high density of the players are going to be holding out their position. But IHC Victoria finally using that grenade, eliminating Kate and towards that region. The 13th team finally has been eliminated, and finally the number where a single team that will get eliminated from now is going to receive at least 1 position point for themselves has actually started. That phase has actually begun right now, and even a single team that will get eliminated is at least gonna have 1 point for them whatsoever. So how the teams are actually gonna hold off this position now, how they're gonna like play off in this regard now is going to be a major question, because not only team IHC is kind of like close by to the team at GS, at that same time GN, it's all up to a matter of factor of time on if they're gonna be able to hold out their position, hold out their locations, because not only towards this area, Euphoria, Yukuro, these two girls are gonna be here. There is going to be a major casualties things that will happen as the team will try to get inside of that circle, as well as the team will try to come inside of that circle. Is going to be like a really bad situation for each and every single one of the team, because not only they will be kind of like out in the open, as it's the Miramar map, and as we already know, Miramar tends to like go for that long range fight. The close range fights definitely like gives out like the edge on one team, and the bad scenario on towards the other team. So not only the teams have to be really careful on how they're gonna play out in that edge. Team Nexus Mist, in fact, is going to be the one that is going to face a lot of casualties on towards them. 3 players join, and not even wasting a single time. Team BV X10 is going to be that person that is going to take down all 3 of them. Just right like that, IXQ is going to be eliminating 3 players, getting all the 3 kills, a total of 5 kills for the whole team. The number of the teams have been taken down towards 11, and right after that, XQ is going to be taking a look at another team, which is going to be HYVE, in which case scenario these girls are also going to be 3-girl squad. HYVE team is also a 3-person party, a trio that has joined out in towards the match. And if we're moving into the close range of these girls, we can see somewhere in that area Yukro was that person that was eliminated, so somewhere now they are a 3-girl squad. But there we go, finally, from the Empress side, from actually Ensuit side, there's going to be a K98 shot right on the team on the BV side as well, getting them down. Euphoria was taken down, knockout at that same point. The level 2 helmet is going to be down towards their last HP. It's last HP, because even a single shot on towards this like helmet is going to be all enough to eliminate it out of existence, to put it out of existence, out of its misery as well. But team BVXQ, she's also taking a look at the players as well. K98 shots are not going to be coming anytime soon anymore, because not only Nessuit is kind of like in a position, whereas her K98 may just like backfires on towards her side, because a single miss means it's going to be all over for the girl. But once again, the K98 is on Nasty's hand as well. Nasty with that K98 8-time scope is going to be taking a look at the Empress as well. As soon as she's coming up, there's a chance that she can also face out the wrath of the K98, but no, it's not going to be possible, as the XQ is that person that is going to face out the headshot of the K9, getting a lot of damage on towards her side, but not the elimination. But Exuit has finally taken down Nasty as well. The person with that K98 is going to be taken down from the team VV side. She's going to be facing out that revival factor on towards her side. But as we're talking about the circle, oh my god, the circle is not going to be in the favor of these girls, as they have to make sure that they get inside of that circle. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed. 11 teams, and on that occasion there's going to be only 4 teams that are actually inside of that circle. The rest of the teams, the rest of the 7 teams that are outside of the circle, now is that time for them to actually make a difference. Now is the time for them to actually like go inside of that circle, make sure that the first team that gets the circle position for themselves, just hold out that area, just make sure that no one else can get inside of that area, can get on top of you from that region, from that particular place, from that particular location for you at that time. In which case scenario, just look at that. VG No finally has been taken down. Team GS versus GN is super close by, but no, Pixie is not even given out a Pixie location of her position. So in which case scenario, finally, as soon as the player is going to be entering that situation, entering that position, Pixie is going to be utilizing all of her Thompson on towards the position, eliminating the person, eliminating the player, and getting that first kill for her team whatsoever. A total of 1 kill towards team GN Pixie in towards this regard. 11 teams are still going to be alive. HYVE is going to be facing out some kind of casualties, in which case scenario Ensuite, as they were trying to get inside, has been taken down, eliminated at that position, at that point, leaving the final player, Gia, as the final hope of the team. And not only Gia as a solo player right now, Gia also has just one buggy in her disposal, and if that buggy is actually taken down, that buggy is actually put out of its misery. It's going to be all over for the team, because not only that the team HYVE player has been spotted, Gia's location has also been compromised, because her buggy has been spotted, her location has been spotted. It's no longer like she's going to be inside of that circle after the circle actually take its shift as it's doing right now. But Pixie, on the other hand, it's going to be taken down. The number of the teams have came down to a whooping 10 total numbers. 29 total players that are still going to be inside, that are still going to be in the match for now. VV is also going to be taking the fight against Team HPE, in which case scenario Fourier is going to be that person that is trying a level best to get the eliminations on towards the player, but the circle is going to take its shift. Team Ara outside of the circle, HYVE outside of the circle right now. Astrella is also facing out some casualties, and finally the top 10 teams are finally making their appearance against on each other, in which case scenario L is kind of like now down. Estrella Sky has to give out that rep, but no, for how long can she survive, because she has also been taken down by GAI, in which case scenario Estrella Ness is going to be the only person standing. But from the backside there's going to be Team VG that can actually make a difference, that can actually take a look at these girls as well, eliminating them in the worst whole case scenario towards this whole region. But no, NEGN is not gonna be like taking a look at the player, because there's going to be smoke, there's going to be some place that she's gonna be into the safer side. But now the car has been taken off as well, as the car has been blown up. Now the top 9 position teams are not going to be able to survive. This is that time that the outside of the section teams have to make a difference. Estrella Sky once again has been taken down, and as Sky has been eliminated, Blossom is that person that is going to be taking out the players as well. This is going to be the last hope of the team, as Ness is going to be facing some random fires from Team BG side. It's going to be all over for them as well. Team Blossom, Team GAI is going to be facing out some casualties, as Jin Leaky was that person that is right now knocked down, that is going to be facing out some kind of like hardships on towards her side as she's getting out that rep. There's going to be 7-1 that can actually make a difference, that can actually come towards them, aggress on them, eliminate them at that position, at that regard, at that point. But so far, for now, the teams that are actually like holding out their position, it's going to be a lot of teams. I'd say there's going to be a lot of teams, 22 total players, 11 total teams that are still like in towards the, not only the position, not only this location where they will like get a like good position for themselves, like a good engagement for themselves, but at that same time GAI, how they're gonna face with the 7-1 in this case scenario, as they're the one that is like 2 players in this regard, and at the same time against the 4 player, as against the 3 players of the 7-1, it's all up to their like holding off position, as they're like it's all up to their like position holding on how they're gonna do that on their like gun power into the close range 1v1 quarter, 1v2 quarter, 1v3 quarter, how they're gonna hold out that position. In which case scenario, just look at that, Saturn with that amazing fire, not only getting 1 knock on towards the second knock, third knock almost done, but no, it's not gonna be possible. Vicky is also coming into the range with that UMP 45 fire, knocking out one other player, but at that same time getting taken down as well. Blossom is gonna be the final hope of the team. Blossom can actually make a difference. Blossom can come into the 1v1, not only save her own player, that is going to be Saturn, but at that same time get the 4th kill for the team, for the players, a total of 6 kills for the whole team in this regard. But no, Blossom is not going to be doing that. Blossom is going to be going for that safer side fight, in which case the total number of the teams that are still surviving is going to be changed towards 7. Blossom finally is coming close by towards this region, towards this position, because not only she's inside of that circle, she's in a good position for herself right now. Xena is the only person from the 7-1 that is right now knocked down. She has to be given out that rev, in which case scenario she's facing out that rev right now. It's 15 total players, 7 total teams that are still inside of that circle, inside of that map, inside of that position for themselves. It's all up to these girls. It's all up towards these girls' location and how they're going to utilize it, because a single wrong move is going to be enough for the whole team elimination, as we already saw against the team Guy and team 7-1. as the 7-1 position was kind of like compromised there, and they almost phased out of complete annihilations on towards their sides. They still managed to like use that position in towards their favor and get that position for themselves, but finally, once again, Team Sole, Team BV, they're gonna be getting out a level 3 vest and the level 3 helmet from the airdrop number, like that straight up was in towards their favor side as well. Finally, as we see Euphoria finally taking out the fires on towards our team Arte. Arte is going to be facing out some casualties. Nasty is going to be giving out that rev as well. And the number of the teams that are still alive is going to be changed to 5. Blossom is going to be alive. IHC is also like 2 players that are surviving, coming close by slowly and steadily. Victoria and Mikasa, how these 2 girls are actually going to make a difference is going to be like amazing on towards this region as well, because not only their position is not being seen by anyone, they have a chance to give the element of surprise on towards the teams that are going to be facing with them right now in this regard. A total of 5 teams, 12 total players that are still going to be alive. How these players are actually going to make a difference is going to be like the question of the century, because there goes the Molly. Victoria has given out her location against the 7-1, 7-1, which is the only team with a complete squad alive for themselves. Total 6 kills. Team BB is going to have 8 kills towards themselves, 10 kills for the Team GS in this regard. Blossom is going to have only 2 kills total for the team, and at the same time the solo player that is surviving finally has decided to fight against the team, given out her location as well. Like given out her location in this regard is going to be like really bad for the team, and how they're going to do that. Victoria has also been given out her location, in which case scenario Team GS is going to be that team that is going to take her down as well. Mikasa being the final player, how Mikasa is actually going to hold out this position is a really major question right now, because not only they're able to get inside of that circle, inside of that location, finally there goes a grenade towards the team 7-1 in this regard. Victoria is going to be the only person that is going to face out that damage. They don't know from the backside. There's going to be the Team GS that is actually going to make a difference, that is actually going to come into the close range of fight, and towards the close range quarter of that fight scenario. But at that same time, as Mikasa is giving out that rev towards the player, there is a chance of the casualties on towards the player as well. Finally, the total number of the team that has changed towards the top 4 is going to be a 2 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4 fight. 7-1 still, I'd say, has a better chance, has the best chance of actually like getting that winner chicken dinner for themselves. But as we're talking about the position, as we're talking about the locations for the team GS is also not like giving up onto it. That area is an area nasty has been taken down from the backside. The own player from the team BD, which is Shama Hain, came towards the revival factor, in which case scenario the revival is actually being done. Euphoria is also like not only spotted the player, which is going to be from the Team GS as well. Team GS finally is going to be throwing out the Molotovs, is going to be throwing out the grenades towards the Euphoria side as well, in which case scenario Euphoria is definitely going to face out some kind of slash damage on towards the player, but the Molotov that is going to be coming in towards this regard, it's not going to make any kind of difference. There goes another molly towards this area, towards this region. A grenade, in fact, knocking out the player. 7-1 is actually facing out the casualties, and with that fire, 7-1 has been taken down by the IHC team. 4 player that was surviving that have been eliminated, but finally once again over towards the Team BV. They're also going to be facing out some kind of casualties on towards their side. Another player has been taken down. Victoria is also being down as well. Team BV is right now down towards the last 2 players, in which case scenario Team GS actually can make a difference and can rush over towards them as well, in which case scenario now is going to be the time for the Team GS to actually shine. It's actually like a difference that they need to make sure that they get the win for themselves. It's a 1 push for them from their side whatsoever. If they can actually like manage to get that 1 push towards themselves, it's going to be all over for the rest of the teams. Team BV is actually going to be facing out some kind of casualties. There we go. Nasty finally is going to be throwing out a grenade over towards the Team GS side as well. In this case scenario, this will hit out the player and eliminate them as well. Team BV is finally getting the 2 kills with a singular grenade. 12 kills on towards the player IHC. A 2 versus 2 versus the Team BV is going to happen. IHC versus Team BV is actually going to happen. Mikasa is going to be shooting at Nasty, which is scenario Nasty is finally going to receive a lot of damage on towards the side, getting her elimination. And with that fire, we have a winner chicken dinner, not only to the team IHC, the only team that had the lowest number of players and at the middle of the circle in towards that region is going to be that team that is going to face out the winner chicken dinner for themselves. Amazing holding of the position, amazing like survivability for these girls, and at that same time a beautiful winner chicken dinner for these girls as well. A total of 10 kills towards these girls, whereas Mikasa got 7 kills, Victoria got 3 kills. These two girls combo not only managed to get a winner chicken dinner for the whole team, but at that same time 10 total kills. But on the other side, if we're talking about the team BV, these girls are going to be having 12 kills for them, for their name in towards the region, with the 2 positions, second position for themselves as well. Team GS is also going to have a total of 10 kills for themselves into the 3rd position. But if we're talking about the MVP, it's going to be IHC Mikasa as well, with the 7 kills, 4 bonus kills, and damage is going to be 1258 whatsoever. So a lot of damage, a lot of like almost 12 kill damage has been done by Mikasa from that area. So somewhere in that area it's going to be amazing like kills from Mikasa side, amazing damage from Mikasa side. But with that, the second match has also like been finished, and with that, as we know, we also have to take a short break, because after the short break, there's still going to be 2 more matches, which is Sanok and Erangel once again. So you guys don't go anywhere. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, share button. We will see you after the short break. Don't go anywhere. Stay here, stay tuned. We will be right back.
They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall. Don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run. Don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall. Don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run. Don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. To start again. You won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. They said, be meek. Look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Going to the place where all this began. Just start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost.
Hello, and welcome back once again after the short break, after the short while, towards the Global Girl Championship presented to you by Liquid 5 eSports. Once again, this is your host, this is Caster Torix, tonight with you with the third match, which is going to be the Sandhawk one. Even though we are back after like not a short break, it wasn't a short break, it was kind of like a long break, but once again we're finally back with the Sandhawk match, which it will be the third one round. And without any further ado, I think we should straight up go towards the match, because the plane flight has already taken its start, and the players are also dropping down towards these areas, because in this region now is that time for each and every single one of the team to actually shine. After the Miramar match, there was considerably like a time where the teams were given out some kind of a leisure for them, the rest for them at that time. But now is the Sandhawk one, whereas we already know that the Sandhawk is precisely set for the early engagement, for the early group stages of fights and towards these areas. And whereas now the teams will be taking out the fights early head on against each other. I can already see into the kill feed that yes, the teams are actually taking the fight, the teams are actually like making impacts on each other. But there we go, finally the circle has been made towards the east northeastern side region, whereas the cow area that is inside of that circle, team Arten, they're fighting VG, team Tem is also fighting HYVE versus team GS is also fighting. Each and every single one of the team, I think right now in this map is fighting somewhere around that area, whether they're like in the long range, whether they're like in the close range. Yes, they are fighting, and one of the fight that we like to see is of the boot camp one right now, as Fitadif, she's trying her level best to revive her player up, as well as right now she was the last player standing for the whole team. She managed to rev out one of the players. After that, both of them are going to get into the safer side, both of them are going to get into a like a safer approach for themselves. No healing whatsoever, only fun first aid kit toward these girls. But on the other hand, if we're talking about the HYVE, these girls have also lost one of their players in towards this area, in which case scenario on the other side we can see Empress giving out the rev. Emmy Nesut is also like healing herself in towards this regard. But if you're talking about Gia does not have any kind of healing on towards herself whatsoever. But there is a first aid kit right in front of her side. She can actually go, she can actually pick it up, she can actually get the 75% health back on, and after that there is a chance that yes, they might be able to fight against each other once again. But as we're talking about the boot camp one, we cannot forget the Shami fight, in which case team Arte is that one. Team R10 is going to be the one that has lost two of their players at this case scenario. It's going to be actually a 4 versus 2 fight, in which case team Arte has the lower edge in this point. In this regard, Le Petite, she's over here. Jin Leaky is going to be right in the front side of that house as well, whereas there's going to be team Arte's players. There goes Shiba, there goes the the dog that is the pet companion is in the front side. DT's location has been given out in towards that regard because of that frag grenade. When after that he also tried to get inside of that region, part with the team, but no, she was taken down by Le Petite twice. Le Petite actually came for the rescue before like two of the players were taken down. Blossom and Jin Leaky, both of these two players were taken down right at that very start, right at that very position point, right at that exact corner place, and things were not looking good for the team that is the team GAI at that point. They still managed to get out of that position with all 4 of their players alive, and after that now is the time. 15 total teams are going to be surviving. 55 players are going to be standing inside of that region as well. But as we see in the boot camp, there's going to be Tem, team GS and team HYVE. There's a chance that these 3 teams may just actually engage with one another in towards this case scenario, in towards this regard of the fight as well, because this is the only place that is right now close by towards the team engagement, towards the team eliminations in towards this area. But right now, Ensuit, she's here. Gia is going to be in towards this region as well as the Empress. So 3 players from the team HYVE that are like really calm and composed and towards this area is actually making a difference in this case regard. They got the kills, they got the eliminations on towards themselves, 2 kills whatsoever in the very start of the game. But after that, as soon as they lost one of their players, they are also kind of like into the safer side as well. They don't want to like over-aggress over towards the team, over-aggress towards the people, towards the enemy side, because they know that there's a chance that there's a slight region, whereas their like engagement can also like get back towards on their side. So not only they have to be really careful on what they're going to do, on what their next move is going to be, they also have to make sure that each and every single thing that they are going to do is not going to be like taken down by any other player, taken down by any other of that team, because for now their kills are what's going to define them in this region in this regard. Because if they are not able to get that many kills, if they are not able to get a lot of kills for themselves, it's going to be really hectic situation for them, because this is the 3rd match. And as the 3rd match, already the teams that have already pointed out their points already got like a lot of points for themselves. those teams will be looking good for tonight. But as soon as we move over to those teams that did not perform well into the first two matches, in fact, now is that time for them to actually make a difference. Even Team BV versus Astrella is actually making a difference in this regard, as well as the Sky was eliminated.
Oke, kita
G
lihat
is
ke
kind of like
Astrella, guys.
alone that
Astrella
HV
di
side.
sini,
L
guys, ya,
is going to be
di
here. Nis is going to be right with them as well, and alongside
Satu
of
orang
G.
udah di lobby,
These three
guys.
girls are actually like the only three survival
Bertemu
for the
dia
team
dengan
Estrella right
tim
now, because the Sky was eliminated. Close by to them is going to be Team BV in this regard. In this regard, Team BV, which is kind of like super close by to them, Shahmina, Samhain, she's here. Euphoria, she's going to be here. Nasty is going to be in towards this region as well, whereas a total of 1 kill so far for the Team BV is going to be right now done. But there we go, finally the fight has been done. Nasty has been taken down and eliminated right at that point by the hand of Team Estrella, making the fight a 3 versus 3 scenario. G also is down. Ness and L are going to be the only two hopes for the whole team, and as they're going to be taking the fight over the team right now, Team BV is kind of facing like a lot of casualties in this case scenario. One player was taken down. Second player from the Team Estrella has also been taken down, but Euphoria, as soon as she's taken down as well, XQ is going to be the last hope for the team whatsoever, and as she is trying to get in towards this region to save her teammates up, XQ will be faced of 1v1 against I think L in this regard. L or Ness? Ness
Orang lagi.
is going to be right in front of her side taking the 1v1. Maybe, maybe not, because for now G is also coming back.
Sini dah, guys, ke teman-temannya.
L is also coming back. Both of the players, both of the teams have decided to go for that revival factor as well for themselves. But XQ, she's over there. Euphoria, she's going to be into the back side as well. Both of the team players from the Team BV side are going to be into the back region, into the back case scenario. After that, getting into the safer side is going to be the first priority for them. They're slowly and steadily coming inside of that area. Nis is in the region, 2 kills whatsoever so far for the team. 50 players are going to be remaining. 15 players are going to be 15 teams players are going to be alive in towards this region, whereas the total number of players are going to be 50. The circle has also taken its shift. Team HAJI is also going to be taking the fights, in which case scenario Rena is going to be the last person standing for the team, and as she's eliminated by the hand of Team HK, Team HK is also going to be eliminated by the Team NGUP, I believe so. And Team NGUP Maria eliminating Remo 1v8 at that time, getting the 4th kill for the team. A total of 4 kills. 3 players are going to be surviving. Kate is going to give out that rev as well. Ani is going to be in this regard, in this case scenario, with like 0 kills whatsoever. Kate is going to be taken down. Kate is going to be bleeding out in towards this region. Nobody is going to be going to save Kate up at this point, at this regard. Maria also is going for the safer approach with that. A total of 4 kills, and out of them 3 kills have been going to Maria in this regard. But Team IHC, they're going to be fighting with the Team TEM in this particular position, in this particular region. 7-1 is also fighting against the Team GST, as well as the players as well, in which case scenario Xena is that person. Xena is that player that is right now knocked out. That person is kind of like taken down towards like a low health side. But Team TEM, those girls are going to be there. Team ITS in the back side, slowly and steadily the circle which has taken the shift towards like an eastern region, Camp Bravo, Tat Mox, Mognai region. Now is what the time for the teams to actually like come inside of that circle. Now is the time for the team to actually like try to get not just inside of that circle, but also get that good position for themselves, a safer position for themselves, because not only it's going to be really important for them and later in the game, even for right now it's kind of important, because for the teams that are right now outside of the circle, they're going to be facing out a lot of casualties, in which case scenario, just look at that. G has been taken down. Astrella L is going to be the last person standing, last hope for the whole team, and as soon as she's going to be taking a look at XQ, now XQ is also knowing where the player location is. XQ have like taken out her location as well, knowing where the players are going to be from the Team Estrella side as well. And as Astrella side, we can already see there's going to be a solo player, which is L, and she is going to be the last hope for the whole team right now. As G was eliminated, L is going to be the last hope for the team. She's going to be healing herself. Only 2 first aid kits are going to be in her hand as well. And as the first circle, as the second circle is also closing in, the teams are actually going to be into the pinch side as well, because from one side we can see Euphoria making a move. From a different angle we can see XQ maybe just making a move as well. And as soon as the circle is going to head out, as soon as the circle is going to close on, is going to be a really hectic situation for each and every single one of the players that is going to be outside of the circle. One of them is going to be Guy Jin Leaky. Jin Leaky is going to be facing out a lot of damage from outside of the circle. A total L from ASTRELLA side is going to be facing out some casualties on towards that side, because not only she only has a 1 first aid kit into her hand, the team only has a total of 2 kills of whatsoever, and that was done by against the team BV at that time. And right now, being eliminated by the hand of team BV is going to be facing them with the heavy casualties as well. The final first aid kit has also been used. Now she only got 1 bandage whatsoever, and after that bandage it's going to be all over for this girl as well in this regard, in this case scenario. So not only she have to be really careful on what she's going to do and how she's going to make a difference. Euphoria and XQ, are they actually going to make a move inside of that circle as well or not? Are they going to try to come inside of that circle or not? That is the main concerning thing, because the circle is going to take a shift towards a southern region, whereas the Bhan area is still inside that circle. Bhan area is inside of that circle, but once again into the close range, into the close quarter. L is going to be facing the casualties on towards her side. She's not going to be giving out any kind of kills over to any one of the team, and as soon as she's going to be eliminated by the hand of team BVXQ, in fact, now Team BV is going to make a difference. Now they're going to be moving inside of that circle, because now is that time that the total 12 teams that are still standing inside of that game, at least 1 position point will be given out to these girls whatsoever, regarding of their kill, regarding of their position for now. Vixen is also trying a level best from the 7-1 as the final hope for the team to actually make her way inside of that circle. If she had taken a look in the backside, just look at that. Look at that team GSL, which was trying to get inside of that circle. Could have been in the circle as well. But as we see, Lara Diff is going to be the one that is going to be taken down. She's going to be given out that rev as well. Outside of the circle, 381 meters away from this region. 4 total kills for the girls from GSTOF. Fit a Diff. She's going to be here with 3 total kills out of 4 kills. So a 1v3 was completed by this girl in this regard of circle. It has taken the shift, as we already know, towards the southern region. The quarry kind of region, like half of the quarry is going to be inside of that circle, the half is not, and the rest of the places, which is Ban, Paradise Resort, are going to be inside of that circle as well. Inside of that circle, inside of that white circle line, we can see the team MST versus team NGUP being engaged with one another, as team NGUP is right now down towards their last 2 players. One player is Maria, kind of like far away from the rest of our team, from the rest of our player. From the backside, we can see team Mist may just make a move in towards this regard and towards this region, but with that ghillie suit, she might not be able to be spotted in this regard, in this region, in this location particularly. But now team MST, as they're giving out that ref, there's a chance that if she takes her looks in the backside, she can actually make a difference. She can actually eliminate the players up at that time. Avisha, she's going to be there. Fury, Floor, Raven, all 4 girls are going to be alive once again from the team MST. They're going to be back on towards their feet, trying to make sure their way inside of that circle is going to be like undetectable by anyone else, denounced by anyone else. But at that same time, as they are making their way, team GST is also going to be making their way inside of that circle. They're going to be taking the fights. They're going to be taking the fights alongside of that way as well. Team MST is also going to be taking the fight with the team MST in this regard. Team ARA, they're also fighting. Mayu was that person that got a player down into towards that region. Floor was that person that was taken down. Mayu right now is going into the safer side, and as team ARA is all 4 players going to be alive, team MST kind of in a pinch spot because one of the players is kind of like super far away, and I think that is going to be Fury. Fury is going to be super far away from not just the team. Team Ara is going to be in a considerable good distance in the long distance of fight. So how these girls are actually going to make a difference, how these girls are actually going to fight is going to be a major concerning thing, because Rachel right now just got a splash damage from the Avisha's grenade, but right now Rachel is also cooking up the grenade. Both teams have thrown another grenade yet so whatsoever, but at the same time Avisha's grenade is going to make a difference. Rachel is going to face off yet another splash damage on herself. She's going to go into the backside, she's going to heal herself, and right after that maybe another grenade may just come towards the player as well. Kaju is going to be into the backside, giving out that cover as well for the whole team, for the whole players in towards that regard, in towards that region. But now is that time for MST Avisha to actually make a difference here, because not only she is going to be like kind of far away from her team MST needs to like put themselves back together. Floor was eliminated, Fury is going to be into the backside as well, slowly and steadily coming towards team VV is also making their way inside of that cycle, whereas they were spotted by the team Ara and eliminated at that time. Team Ara is at least gonna get 2 kills whatsoever right now for themselves. One goes to Shuba, one goes to Kaju in that regard, but Rachel, she was taken down. Shuba, as soon as she tried to get inside of that bike, she was also been spotted by the team MST. In that regard, they are also been given out some kind of fire, some kind of like a damage on towards the player. Shuba right now cannot leave out this place, cannot get out of this location in particular, because as soon as she's gonna try to get out of this position, she's gonna be sprayed on by the team MST guard. So Raven is going to be right in front of her, Shuba is going to be stranded right here, but at that same time the rest of the team, the rest of the players, how are they actually going to make a difference? How are they going to make sure that they get into the safer side, they get into like a position where they have the upper hand towards the players as well, because Avisha right now is also knocked down. Raven and Fury are going to be the only 2 persons standing for the whole team, and only these 2 girls are given a chance right now, whether if they want to like take the revenge fight for the team, or whether they want to like leave out of that area as well. Raven, she's going to be knocked out as well, leaving only the Fury as a final hope for the team. Fury as a final hope for the team right now. It's all up towards this girl on what she's going to do, whether she wants to get out of this position or she wants to stay for the fight is solely up to her. But the team total number is going to be changed up to 9. Team Fias is going to be fighting with the HYVE, eliminating them as well as the team Tem. It's going to be right at the edge of the corners of the circle. Now is that time for them to like fight for their team, fight for their like players, in which case scenario GAI was spotted. They were actually being shot at right now. No elimination whatsoever on towards their side as well. But team Tem, all 4 players blazing, all 4 players alive. Not only they're going to be facing off against the team GAI, but at that same time, if they look in the backside, they can be fighting with the team VG and team GS as well, in which case scenario, just look at that. Lara Diff tried her level best to get inside of that circle, but no, she was taken down by the Playzone. Playzone got the better of her, but at that same time, team Tem, as soon as they're going to be trying to get inside of that circle, 2 players are going to be taken down by the team at GAI players at that regard, at that position. And right now the last 2 players, which is Zaya and Zhao Aliz, are going to be the only 2 players standing in the team. Blossom is going to be spotted. The spray has been done on towards this girl, super low on that HP. Blossom is going to be getting inside of that cover, and after that she's going to be going for that heal battle, healer on her side. But as soon as the player is going to be coming inside of that area, Tem Zhao Eyes is going to be fighting with Blossom, knocking her out. Zaya is going to be the only hope for the team, as Zaya is going to be the slow and steadily eliminated at that point, because not only she's kind of like super low on that HP, the like players that are kind of like in this regard is super, and I say super like into the casualty side, because not only Zaya is going to be in towards this region, in towards this position, Leaky is going to be there. Guy is going to be the only team that is gonna survive out of that misery, out of that position, in fact, for themselves, and get that like all 4 kills for the whole team, for the team TEM at that time, eliminating them at that point. Top 5 players are going to be alive. Top 5 teams are actually going to be alive, and with that top 8 remaining players that are going to be still alive in towards this region, in towards this position, now is that time for the circle to actually like make its move. Maria is not making a singular move, as Maria is AFK. Maria is offline in towards this region. Team Guy is going to be there. Team GSTO fit a diff, in fact, from GST is going to be the solo player alive as well. VG is going to be alive with 2 players. Team IHC is going to be alive with a 2-man girl squad as well. And as we're talking about these 2 girls that may just fight against each other, one another in this regard, in this region, it's going to be a really hectic situation on who's going to survive, who's going to like actually hold off that position for themselves, because finally, once again, VG Nijin has been eliminated. Nijin has been fully eliminated at that point, eliminated. Top 5 teams, 7 players that are still going to be alive. ISP is going to be taking a look at the guy, Jin Leaky, at that time with the beautiful spray, with the beautiful fire. The damage was done on the player, not elimination, no elimination whatsoever. The circle is closing on. Golix is also going to be spotted, and on the foot, we can see the fire on towards the girl. Num Golix is going to be the only hope for the whole team, for the team Num, for the team VG in this regard, right in front of the side of the team IHC, and IHC may just feel some kind of casualties because of this molly that was thrown at them at this point by the hand of Golix, by the hand of team VG in this regard. But at the same time, there's only going to be 4 teams alive. There's only going to be 6 players alive. That is in the that is in the region of that area. Golix, as soon as she was eliminated, the fight goes towards the 1 versus 2 versus 2 scenario, in which case scenario FitADIF tried a level best to get in towards the region, towards into the circle region. But at the same time, as soon as she was entering that area, Team IHC get out. Team IHC just got the elimination on towards themselves as well. Got the kill, not only the 3rd kill for themselves, but at that same time, just look at that. The fight right now is going to be a 2 versus 2 scenario. Team IHC and Team Guy has a both like equal fight scenario as well. But there we go. Saturn's fire is going to be taken down. Enna as well. Enna as the final hope for the team right now was taken down, leaving Winter as the final hope right now, as Winter is super low on that HP. There can be one like spray towards these girls, and that's going to be enough for the players, and that is what it is. Team IHC has been finally eliminated by the Team GIA, getting that winner chicken dinner for themselves at that position. At that regard, a total of 10 kills was done by the Team GIA. A GAI at that point, and getting that 10 kills for them not so whatsoever is going to be an amazing thing as well. Somewhere in that region, it's just amazing. It's just like a great thing for them as well to get that all of the kills, all of the fight scenario for themselves. But on the other hand, if we're talking about the Team IHC, they still managed to get like the 3 kills factor on the 2nd position as well. So some consistency right there for these girls as well. But on the other side, the number 3 position goes towards the Team GS at that time. 6 kill for FitADIF, but at that same time 1 kill for a diff on towards that side as well. So a total of 7 kills towards the girl, but that makes us think who is going to be that MVP, because the number 6 kills from Team GS is going to be, I think, the MVP. And moving on towards that, it's going to be a definite yes towards these girls. 6 kills, 0 bonus, 921 damage on towards the girl side as well, getting that MVP title for herself, not only for herself but for her team as well. Because if we are talking about the team, FitADIF was that also the person that gave out 4 rescues, 4 revive on towards the player. Then Gaijin Saturn was the person that got the last kill on towards the player. But with that, the 3rd match has also taken its shift. It also has been ended in the favor of the Team GAI in this regard. But now it's going to be the time for the match number 4. But before we go over towards the match number 4, Erangel, once again, we're going to be taking a short break. So you guys don't go anywhere. We will be going on a short break. Stay here, stay tuned. We will be right back.
Don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it, getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began, just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. Will surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a battle, I'm trying to hide it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. On to the place where all this began. To start again. Won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Break down. Until you break down. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall first to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found. And you can't start again until you break down. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're not lost. Hold on, hold on. You're not lost, you're They said, don't fall, don't forget all the things you've been taught, you've been told. Don't blink, don't run, don't turn left or turn right or look straight at the sun. My mind's going in circles, I'm trying to fight it. Getting these voices inside to stay quiet. Gone to the place where all this began. Just start again. Oh, you won't see the light until the dawn breaks. No.
All right, everyone. Once more, we are back live with the live action of the Global Girl Championship of the series. Whereas the third match is going to be rescheduled once again, and it's going to be Sanhok once again. Sanhok match is going to be rescheduled. Teams are going to be facing off against each other once again into the Sanhok match. So moving straight over there, we can see the plane line once again being made from the cow side towards the Shami region whatsoever. Kind of like a western side shift towards the teams. So the teams kind of like have the upper edge over towards the western side, whereas the Hathin side, the Camp Alpha, Tembang, Boot Camp, Paradise Resort, those are easily accessible for the team. The eastern region, Kampong, Camp Bravo, Morganai areas, that will be like some kind of scenarios where the teams have to like run towards them, glide towards that areas to get in towards those regions to hold off those particular places for themselves is going to be the main question over towards that side. But once again, in towards the Shami region, we can see like a lot of teams that may be like kind of close by to each other. Once again, the circle is going towards the northern side shift. Moving on towards the team in the Shami we can see like a lot of players in towards this region, in towards this area, that can actually potentially once again do a 1v1, like a 4v4 fight against each other, against one another. Le Petit, she's going to be here from the backside. We can see there's going to be people on top of the mountain as well from the Shami region. There is a chance that the players from the team Guy can also come over towards that region, get in towards that position and have an upper hand for them, because Saturn right now is in the upper region. Saturn right now is on top of the mountain, and even on top of that there's going to be Leaky that is actually going towards that same region, trying to hold off that position. But Blossom, she's going to be outside of the region, she's going to be in the water, kind of like AFK, I believe so. But no, Blossom finally is back, she's alive, she's back on her feet, she's back on a like a device in towards that area, and she's trying her level best to get inside of that circle as well. She's trying her level best to come inside of that circle, but on the other side, this means that the fight against Team Arten versus Guy is already going to be a 3 versus 4 scenario. Team Guy having that low edge for themselves right from the very start is going to be a major concerning thing for not only just them, but for their team as well, because Team Arte, they are like all 4 guns blazing, all 4 players gun blazing in towards that area, whereas now they have the chance to actually like come towards this region, fight with the team, get their kills, get their elimination, get more like kill factor for themselves in towards this match as well. And after that, now is that time for the players to actually make a difference, because NGUP, as this girl, as this player, was kind of like far away from her team, and not just her team, she has also joined a solo player for the game this time around. Ani 13 is going to be a solo player joining for the whole team, for the whole players right now. A total of 15 teams are joining out into the match. Ani, as soon as she's going to be eliminated, she's going to be out of the match as well. But with that, there are going to be a lot of more teams that are going to be engaging with one another. One of them is going to be into the boot camp, whereas Team MST and Team GS is actually going to be initializing with that fight, initializing with that engagement, in which case scenario Team MST has joined this time around with a 3-girl squad, a 3-player squad has joined out this match. Gaijin and GUP Annie has been eliminated. The number of the players of the number of the teams that were like a total of 15 has changed towards 14. Now 14 teams, 52 players are gonna make a difference here. They need to like make a difference in this case scenario, because Fury used that Thompson, in fact, knock out one player. After that, there was no saving her whatsoever as well, because the Thompson was like on the reloading factor, and Fury finally got knocked out as well. Abisha also has been taken down. Floor is going to be the last standing hope of the team, as Floor is the last hope of the team. She also is super low on that HP side. She's going to heal herself. Her Thompson needs to be reloaded as well, because in that Thompson is going to be 22 bullets or whatsoever. So with that 1v1 fight, can she hope to like get that win for the team? But no, it's not going to be possible, as it was a 4 versus 3 scenario fight. Team GS is going to be that team that is going to win out this fight, and with that fire, they are going to be the team that is just going to have the 3 kills right at the very start of the game. With that, 13 total teams that are still remaining, their number is going to be one of them right now. But for how long can they hold them up in towards this regard, in towards this region, for them to like not just hold out that area, but at the same time, how they're gonna hold out that area is gonna be a major concerning thing, is gonna be a major question for each and every single one of the players as well, because in this region, in this regard, now we have 13 total teams that are still going to be alive. Still, after like a rematch, there are not many teams that have already joined out this match as well, because this is going to be the last match for the team. This is going to be the last match for the today, and the time was not that much that the teams could have joined. So we can see like a trio, we can see duos, we can see even solos in the game as well this time around. But once again, with the Ravenna having that grenade thrown on towards a player, it's not gonna like go that far. It's just gonna bounce back towards her side. Ravenna needs to get into the safer side as well to heal herself, boost herself up, because the fight is actually a 1 versus 2. It's actually a 1v2 scenario, whereas the team have to be really careful on what they're gonna do and how they're gonna like actually make a difference in this regard, because not only that, Ravenna she's over here in the Crystal side. Crystal is going to be taking out that 1v1 with that Molotov fire. There was a one elimination in the hand of the team 7-1 in this case scenario. One kill over towards these girls. Crystal is going to be right in the backside of the store as well, and as soon as she's going to be spotted, there will be casualties on towards the player as well, because Ravana has tried a level best to do a lot of shots on towards the player. There we go, the fire has been done. Crystal has knocked out Baby Girl, but at that same time she was also eliminated at that time. And with that fire, the duo that was joined up in towards this match is going to be no longer into the game as well. And with that, now with all the players that have been eliminated, team 7-1 is gonna have that beautiful, and I say beautiful, like 2 kills, and all 4 players that are still gonna be alive towards themselves and towards this region. But now with that, the number of the teams that are going to be alive is still going to be 13. Team Artists, there's going to be over there. Team Guys also going to be taking the fights, as well as all the different teams that are actually like trying their way to get into a safer side position, into a good position for themselves. One of them is going to be Team GS and Team TEM, as well as they're also fighting against each other, one another, in towards this regard, in towards the scenario. Whereas she's over here. She's trying her level best to like engage with the teams, fight with the teams, get the kills for herself as well in that regard. But Azea, let's see and let's find out if she's actually going to be able to give out that rev towards the player, because into the other side, into the kill feed, we can see the team Guy once again taking out the fights, fighting against the teams that is going to be Team Arte. Arte is also outside of the circle. Team Guy is also going to be outside of the circle, but with the upper hand of having more players advantage in towards this region, Team Arte is going to have a 1 kill and 2 players still standing. Team Guy is going to have the same thing whatsoever as well, but there we go. Team GS is also going to fight with the Team TEM. Team TEM is going to be facing out some casualties on towards their side, on towards their region. But as the number of the teams are still not going down, there is still going to be that one unfortunate team that is not going to receive a single point aside from their kills in towards this match as well. But there we go. Finally, Leaky's trying the queen has been taken down, and as she was trying to eliminate the queen up in towards that area, Leaky's position, I believe so, has also been compromised. She's going to be going into the left side, into a flank angle towards the players, where she can like actually see the players, where she can actually see the enemy side, enemy location towards herself, and finally use that M416 towards its fullest with a 4x spray, with a 4x scopes, eliminating the players, eliminating the number of the players into her own favor. As soon as she gets run down, there's going to be queen that is going to heal herself. But there we go. Leaky has 2 grenades whatsoever. Those grenades can make a potential great difference towards the player, and with that grenade fire, there is going to be a lot of like damage on towards the queen side. Queen is still going to survive. Queen is still going to get into the cover side, but Le Petit from the back angle is going to be also coming into the region, also going to be shooting at the players as well. But as we see Leaky actually fighting against the team, it's going to be Queen versus the Petit and Leaky as well. It's a 1 versus 2 scenario, in which case scenario Queen actually tried to make a difference, knocking out Le Petit, but at the same time Leaky is not going to let that opportunity go by. She's going to win that fight out against her and get the revival done in process as well. With revival being done, now is the time for each and every single one of the players that are outside of the circle, the 11 teams that are like outside of the circle. How many of the players are going to be out is going to be dependent on them, because so far there's only going to be one team, which is Team Guy, outside of the circle. The rest of the players, the rest of the 10 teams are going to be inside, not only inside but at a good considerable position for them as well. So not only those positions are going to be amazing for the team, but VV Nasty with that beautiful tap fire actually managed to get a knock on towards the Team VG as well. Nigel is also going to be taking down Fit at Diff, tried a level best to get inside of that like compartment to fight with the team, but no, it's not going to be possible, as Team Temp is going to be putting a stop towards them as well. But there we go. Lara Diff with that beautiful one grenade over towards the player. It's going to be making a huge difference. So with that M416 fire, Jinso is going to be taken down. Lara Diff actually has a chance to go towards her player, revive them up, make sure that all of the players are back on towards their health, back on towards their feet, and once again the fight can be potentially done, because Saima Def tried a level best to throw out a grenade, in which case scenario that grenade actually made its hit, made its number towards the player, in which case Jinso once again, as soon as she was revived up, she has been finally taken back towards on her knees as well. And as she's crawling out of this position to get into the safer side, now is that time for the Simardef to make a difference, to make a position for herself as well, because the constant fire of the players are going to be taking a lot of casualties on towards the players. Lara Def, she's going to be taken down. To Fita Def, she's also going to be taken down. Simardef is going to be making her way in towards this area with that beautiful grenade. And with that grenade, is that going to be possible to knock out the player? Because so far, I don't think so that the grenade actually made a knock on towards the player, because Jao Alice, she's going to be giving out that rev towards the player, because she's going to be the last hope for the team. Revival factor is also being done on towards the players. Zia is going to be revved up towards this region, towards this position, because the fight will after that be a 4 versus 2 scenario. Tem Jao Alice, she's going for that engagement, she's going for that rush over towards the player in hopes to get the elimination on towards them. Let's see and let's find out if she's actually going to be able to like get out the casualties on towards the player, because the Lara Def with that Z elimination, it's going to be all up to Jao Alice hands, because it's a 2 versus 1 scenario. Simardef, she's in the backside, she has been taken down once again, and elimination has been done. Jao Alice, and after that, with that Jao Alice fire, oh my god, Team Tem not only managed to survive with their 2 players, but also Jao Alice managed to pull out that 1v3 on towards the team as well. And with that elimination, now is that time for the total of 3 kills towards these kills. A total of 10 teams are going to be surviving in towards this match, in towards this region. Now, for each and every single one of the player that is inside of that circle, is going to be a major time for them to like make a difference, to hold out their position, to hold out like a good compartment for themselves, because from the BV side we can see the team Num being casualties out in towards that regard. Team IHC, they're also seeing the 7-1 in towards that region. They're also being spotted out by the players. The fire, the tap fire was done on towards them. NB is going to be there. Moving on to the team BV, they're outside of the circle. 4 kills whatsoever. 9 teams that are going to be surviving. 28 total players that are still inside of that match, inside of that game as well. How these girls are actually going to make a difference is a major concerning thing, because not only remember that the 9 teams have to make a difference, there are still going to be 2 like unfortunate teams that will still not get a single, like they will only get a single point for themselves if they get eliminated. Regarding of the kills that can increase the numbers of the points as well. With each kill, there's going to be 1+ on towards themselves up, but at that same time, the position point is going to be just 1 so far over towards the team that will stand over to the top 8 position. But 28 players that are going to be alive. How these girls are actually going to make a difference, because not only these girls have to be really careful on what they're going to do and how they're going to actually like move forward in towards this match. It's also a matter of factor of time on how they are gonna actually hold off their position inside of that circle, because if they're not able to hold off their like a position inside of the circle very well, it's gonna be a casualties for them at that time, at that position. Because in the last stand-off match that was rematch right now, we also saw that even if you have the man disadvantage, even if you have the player disadvantage, you can still make a difference for yourself. You can still get that winner chicken dinner for yourself if you set your mind right, if you set yourself into the right mind, into the right area, and know where to like take a look at the players. Because once again, the circle has taken its shift towards the Paradise Resort, and the teams in which case scenario, team BV, there is going to be inside of that circle, there's going to be team GN that is also like kind of inside of the circle. But team ARA versus team HYVE, these 2 girls are going to be actually taking the fight. The Rachel versus NS Suit is going to be one of the fight that we will witness, because as soon as Rachel is going to move, NS Suit is going to be that person that is going to take a shoot at the player as well. So far, 1 kill on towards the team HYVE against team ARA. In this case regard, in this case scenario, Rachel kind of is stranded in towards this position, because from a different angle we can see one more player being entering out this area, entering out this location. And once again, if Rachel does not get up, it's going to be a really hectic situation for this girl as well, because she's kind of like prone down into towards that region. And as soon as she's going to be spotted, it's going to be all over for the girl, as well as Team Ara joined only with the 2-girl squad. The team elimination is going to lead up to their demisal dismay in towards the top 9 position. The top 8 teams that are still alive, they're going to be coming inside of that circle. They're trying their level best to get inside of that circle area as well, because from the last match Now this time around, the circle has finally taken some kind of shift towards the houses, compounds areas, whereas now the team have a chance of actually holding out themselves in towards the regarding compounding areas. In which case, now the compound areas where the teams are is kind of like in the casualties section as well, because not only you can like hold your position up, you can also give out like casualties on towards the other team, on towards the other players in that regard, in that case scenario. And the players that are right now outside of the circle that needs to get inside of that circle as well may just feel out those casualties on towards their side, on towards themselves, because in the kill feed, just look at that, HYVE versus BV is actually happening. The teams are actually making a difference, in which case scenario XQ has finally been taken down. XQ is actually making a difference in towards that area, knocking out 1, 2, 3 players in that regard. A total of 5 kills towards these girls have been given. One of the player, that is Samin, is also down. She has to be given out that rev as well. But as we see, the team HYVE kind of in the bad scenario, kind of in the bad position. Empress is getting out that rev. E-Suit is going to be in towards that region, whereas she's going to be full HP. The other player, Empress, is going to be healing herself up from the backside. We can see the players being casually just rushing on towards the player as well. Empress was not able to rev out her location, rev out her like a full health on towards that regard. She was eliminated, and after that, team BV is going to be that team that is going to take down the HYVE in that scenario, in that regard, and getting that beautiful, and I say beautiful, like kills for themselves in this position. A total of 8 kills so far for the team, for the players right now in this location. And after that, right in towards this region, now a total of 5 teams are going to be surviving in towards the match, in towards the region, in towards this location, whereas all of these players have to like make a difference right now, right here in this case scenario, because a single casualty can lead up to your whole team like elimination, and at that same time, one good move can also make sure that you get like a better position for yourself, get a better like engagement for yourself in this case scenario as well. But once again, the fight is going to be starting. The fight is going to be taking like a new what is it called, a new turn as well. And all of the teams that are going to be actually facing off against each other, one of them is going to be team HK and V, which is against the team BV in this case scenario. Euphoria is also taking the fights, is also taking the casualties on towards the players there. Remo 1v8 is going to be eliminated by the play zone, leaving only the final player of the team NV right now, which is Illusion in this case scenario, in this regard. And as we see Euphoria just rushing on towards the player, eliminating them, getting that beautiful more kills for themselves. A total of 13 kills is gonna be done by the players, is gonna be done by these girls in towards this area. Euphoria is there. All the 4 players are gonna be alive from the team BV side, with all 13 kills intact towards these girls. Nasty is gonna have 6 kills. XQ is gonna have 4 kills. 2 kills for Samahain, and 1 kill for Euphoria in that regard. But as we're talking about the whole teams, it's a 4 versus 4 versus a 4. So 12 players, 3 teams are going to be alive. 7-1. Things are not looking good for them in this case scenario, in this case regard, because Isha was kind of down. He has been left up, and at the same time, Mighty also faced out some of the casualties, but 7-1 also has faced out the casualties as well. There goes a rush from the winter side, knocking out and yet another player. The third player has also been eliminated, leaving only the 1 player of the 7-1, Vixen, as the final hope of the team, because Vixen is the final hope of the team. Vixen not only has to be into the safer side, but at the same time, he has to be like knowing where her enemy location is, where her like players' locations are, so that she can give out a good, not just a cover for the team, but at that same time maybe rev towards the player as well. But VV Nasty, she's going to be into the backside. Team BV has the best opportunity, best chance for themselves to get out that winner chicken dinner, because team IC is going to be facing out some casualties as they're going to be coming inside of that circle. Nasty is going to take yet another knockout on towards the player, getting that full elimination on towards the person as well. Mikasa is no longer into the game. Anna is going to be also taken down. 14 total kills so far. 1 baby girl has been taken down by Victoria from the team IHC side, making the fight a 1 versus 3 versus 4 scenario, and team BV having that beautiful upper hand into their own regard. Team BV is not gonna let that opportunity go by. They're gonna knock out yet another one of the players. The 2 players has been taken down. Winter is gonna be the solo player standing for the team. Euphoria is gonna be making sure that no one is actually like eliminating her teammate at that time. But from the backside, we can see 7-1 Vixen also using that beautiful M416 fire, knocking out the players, getting the casualties. But no, she's not going to be able to heal out herself out in the open, out in this regard. And after that, she's just going to be eliminated by the play zone as well. And as the play zone is going to be taking her down as well. Now is that time for the team IHC to make a difference, because 6 first aid kits against the 4 players of the team, it's not going to be possible, as she's going to be also being taken down by the play zone. And team IHC, as they're no longer into the game, team BV is going to be that team that is going to have that winner chicken dinner for themselves in towards this regard. And a total kills, if we're talking about, that is going to be a whooping number of 16 total kills for themselves. On top of that, a chicken dinner. So 31 points just been given to them with a beautiful chicken and kills in towards the last match as well. Team IHC, on the other hand, in the second position, they're going to have a total of 5 kills for themselves. 7-1 on the other hand, on the number 3rd position, it's going to be having a 5 kills scenario for themselves as well. But with that, we now need to know who is going to be that MVP of that match, because if you go over towards that side, it's going to be none other than BV Nasty with 7 kills, 2 bonus defeats, and 1132 damage done by the girl in this regard. But whatsoever, with that fire, with that elimination, 1132, somewhat 11 kills, winner chicken dinner towards this own girl like a solo player. Damage is just amazing on towards this girl. But with that, the final match of today has also been taken off. It has also completed, and with that, we will be also giving our goodbyes to you guys as well. We will be also giving out regards to you guys as well. So with that, I think we should also go out with that as well. We should also like end the stream right here at this point as well. But before we go, we are gonna request you one thing as well, because if you like the commentary, if you like the casting, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram as well, which is Torix_1. And right at that time, if you have any queries regarding these matches, regarding these results, make sure you do message me for the queries as well. You can ask me in the query section in towards my Instagram. It's gonna be the same. And if you want to know, you can know where the results are actually gonna be posted. It's gonna be done at Liquid5 Esports on Instagram. So make sure you guys follow that as well on Instagram as well. With that, now we're going to be giving our goodbyes. You guys take care of yourself. We will be going on. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. And until then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.